Hey, thanks for joining me for part 2 of my how to invest in ICOs. I wanted to talk about the advisors. Now, advisors are important. It's like, especially if you're a new company, you've never done anything in the space before, right? It's a huge thing developing something on the blockchain and raising tons of money. There's so much that has to happen. You have to create a token. You have to make sure you have to know how many tokens there are. You have to make sure they work. You have to make sure they're coded the right way. You have to make sure. I mean, there's so much. There's tons that goes into it, but then also actually creating a blockchain business. It's fintech. It's like a whole new industry. So if you've gone from having a friggin' whatever, a laundromat, or like some normal company, and then now you want to go on the blockchain, no, you need to have people on board who know what they're doing. Okay, so you might have a team that already has done stuff in the space before, but either way, and especially if you have a team that's new, the advisors are very important. Imagine having Ethereum founder Vitalik on your board explaining to you what he's learned and how you need to be doing things and giving you his heads up. That's huge.
Inside of Ethereum, there is a cryptographic token called Ether. And the purpose of Ether is basically in order to pay transaction fees inside of the Ethereum network. So the way that works inside of Ethereum is that in something like Bitcoin, you'd have just a transaction fee, and that gets charged kind of for every kilobyte that the transaction takes up. But in Ethereum, it's a transaction fee per computational step. So you kind of pay for as much of sort of the Ethereum virtual machine as you use.
All right, that's a lot of complicated words you just said, but.
Okay. So anybody, so there's lots of people in the space who are badass. So check out, go when you go to the company's website and you check them out, check out their advisors and look up the advisors and see how important they are, what have they done, what's their experience. And you can go on the big Bitcoin Talk forum and see what people are saying about the advisors. And you can go on YouTube, see if they've done talks. Watch one of their talks. You might not know about them personally, but if you find one of their main advisors and supposedly that's like a big deal, look at them talk. And if you think they're a super smart, intelligent person, feels like they know their stuff, well, that's going to help the project succeed. So always check out the advisors. If they have one big name, that helps a lot. Sometimes they'll have 2, 3, 4 big names, and that's a huge advantage. So always check that out. Okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about today, whales. I want to talk about whales. So, there's a lot of people out there who have tons of money. Okay. It might be people who mined Bitcoin back in 2009, back in the old days, or maybe they just accumulated Bitcoin. It's at some point. I don't know, but there's people out there who have tons and tons and tons of money. From the crypto space, and they have so much, and I'm talking some people have hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Tens of millions, hundreds of millions. It's not a big deal for you to plunk down $10 million into an ICO. If you really like it and you have $400 million, you just put 10 million into one. No big deal. You'd be like, yeah, this sounds good. And there are all people doing this. There are people doing this. So the problem is, imagine a company's raising 20 million and 2 people just buy it out. One guy puts in 10 million, one guy puts in 10 million. So, they control all of it, or let's just say they get 90% of it, right? They put 9 million each, and then there's 2 million left for you and me and some other people. We're fucked, right? Anytime those guys want to lower the price, they just dump their tokens. The price collapses, and they can do that anytime. They basically control the market. There's not going to be organic growth because they control all the fucking tokens. It's ridiculous. So you don't really want that. You don't want to invest in something where there's no caps on how much people can come in with. You know what I mean? It's very risky. So I like ICOs where there's a cap. You can only put in whatever, let's say 4 or 5 or 10 Ether or something like that, or maybe $10,000. Because even if it's $10,000 and they're raising millions, there's still going to be hundreds of people, individuals who are investing in all. And obviously when you're an individual and you're investing in a project, you're interested in it, right? You're more likely to use the project or tell people about it or get involved somehow. So that creates an active community. If you know what I mean? If you're a whale and you just put $10 million in, you're just one person. How much can you actually do to further the project? Not much. So I'd way rather have 100 people put in $10,000. You see what I'm saying? Than one guy put in $1 million. I'm just saying. So I like projects that have a cap on how much you can put in. If I hear about it hey, there's a whitelist and you can only put in 6 ETH, awesome. I'm going to put that 6 in, and I think that 6 ETH is going to make me a lot of money. It's also, I'm not risking that much money too. So I like that a lot. I really like that a lot. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Like how much money, could a whale come in? Can a small group of people be controlling all of the coins? If so, that's a red flag for me. I don't like it.